Have you ever wondered why we spend over 12 years in school, then another 4 years in university? But after graduation, almost no one teaches us how to manage money, how to accumulate assets, or how to truly make money work for us. Instead, we are taught how to become a good employee, how to apply for a job, and how to stay committed to a stable company. However, there is a harsh truth. If you only work hard without a financial strategy, you will forever be running on a relentless treadmill, working in the morning, going home at night, receiving a salary, and spending it all, never truly escaping financial pressure. Asset accumulation is not just for the wealthy. It is a mandatory path if you want a future with less worry, if you want the freedom to choose, and if you don't want to look back someday and see that you wasted your entire youth just chasing a paycheck. The problem is, most of us were never taught this. Parents rarely talk about saving because they are busy making a living. Schools only teach textbook knowledge and not how money operates in real life. Society is filled with invitations to spend money. That's why today, I want to share with you 4 asset accumulation strategies. These are not quick rich schemes or overnight millionaire tricks. These are 4 solid, fundamental strategies that have been quietly but effectively applied by the world's most successful people. I know many young people today are often drawn into 2 extremes. One is living for the present, earning money just to spend it. The other is trying to get rich quickly at all costs. Both extremes lead to the same result: failure in asset accumulation. Asset accumulation is actually like building a house. You need a solid foundation. You need brick by brick, layer of cement, day after day, year after year. And then, one day, you will have a sturdy home to shelter in. There is no magic that turns an empty plot into a mansion overnight. Also, no path makes you sustainably wealthy from scratch in just a few months. But if you know the right strategies, you will shorten your journey, and most importantly, you won't get lost. In this video, we will go through those 4 strategies together. The first strategy is the biggest secret of the investment world: compound interest. The second is multiple income streams. The third involves living below your means and saving wisely. And finally, the most important, investing in yourself. Remember, what you are about to hear is not dry theory but practical principles that can be applied immediately to your life. If you truly want your future to be less stressful, then listen closely and remember each of these strategies. Now, let's start with the first strategy: the power of compound interest, the silent but most formidable power in the world of finance. The first and most silent secret of the investment world is compound interest, turning time into an ally. The scientist Albert Einstein once said, "Compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it. He who doesn't pays it." Imagine this. You have 10 million Vietnamese dong, and you invest it with a 10% annual return. The next year, you earn returns not only on the initial 10 million but also on the 1 million in profit from the previous year. Your money is generating new money. The cycle continues to repeat. After 10 years, your money is over 25 million. After 20 years, that number exceeds 67 million. And after 30 years, from the initial 10 million, you could have nearly 175 million Vietnamese dong. All thanks to letting time and compound interest work for you. What makes compounding formidable is not the small numbers in the short term, but its explosive power in the long term. It's like dropping a small snowflake on a mountaintop, and as it rolls down, it grows bigger and bigger until it becomes a colossal snowball. A classic example is the story of Warren Buffett. He started investing at age 11. Over 90% of Buffett's colossal wealth was actually created after age 60. That is, time and compounding are what created his hundreds of billions of dollars. The element that shows the deciding factor is not just how much you invest, but how early you start. In Vietnam, many young people often hesitate, thinking they need more money before they can invest. But in fact, not starting early is what makes you lose the biggest advantage: time. Investing 1 million Vietnamese dong every month from age 20, after 30 years, you could have several billion. But if you wait until age 30 to start, by age 50, you'll only have half that amount. That 10-year gap determines the difference between having financial freedom or not. To utilize compounding, you need 3 factors: patience, discipline, and emotional control. Patience to accept that big results don't come immediately. Discipline to consistently save. And emotional control not to withdraw money prematurely or panic when the market fluctuates. Imagine you are planting a tree. You water and care for it regularly, but you don't yet see shade or fruit. Many people give up at this stage. But if you are patient, 10 years later, the tree will give you shade, flowers, and fruit. Your assets are the same. A common mistake many young people make is focusing too much on the initial capital. But remember, compounding doesn't care about large or small capital. It only cares about time and consistency. How do you apply compounding in daily life? You can open a long-term savings account, participate in open-ended investment funds, invest in stocks, real estate, or even build a revenue-generating asset from personal skills. The most important thing is that you start early and maintain consistency. Think of your money as little soldiers. Every dollar you put into an investment channel will work for you and generate new soldiers. The more time passes, the larger your army grows, and you will have a powerful force protecting your financial future. But compounding also has a dark side. It applies not only to the money you invest, but also to bad spending habits. If you constantly carry credit card debt with a 25% interest rate, that debt will also multiply many times over time. You choose whether it becomes your companion or your enemy. The lesson here is, don't underestimate small amounts of money. Don't hesitate with the thought that you will invest when you are richer. Start today. And remember, the rich don't win because they are smarter, but because they are more patient. And now, let's move on to the second strategy, a principle the wealthy always apply: building multiple income streams instead of depending on a single job. The second strategy for asset accumulation, and one of the biggest differences between the rich and the poor, is building multiple income streams. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. If you notice, most people rely on a single source of income, the monthly salary from their main job. This is not wrong, but it is extremely dangerous. Because when you only have one cash flow, you are placing your entire financial future on a thin thread. The rich understand this very well. They never let their finances depend on a single source. They build many cash flows from active income to passive income. Even if one source is affected, the others still maintain their life and assets. Imagine you are standing on a 3-legged stool. If one leg breaks, you can still maintain balance. But if you stand on a single post, as soon as it wobbles, you will fall immediately. Active income is what you earn from work by directly putting in effort and time. This is the main source of income for the majority, but it has limits. You only have 24 hours in a day, and you cannot double your work to double your earnings indefinitely. Passive income is the key to asset accumulation. These are funds you receive without having to put in effort directly every day. For example, profit from stock investments, rental income, or revenue from a YouTube channel. You do the work once, but can benefit many times. A simple example: you write an ebook and sell it online. Writing takes a few months, but afterward, every time someone buys it, you have additional income without needing to work more. Or you buy a small apartment and rent it out. Of course, building passive income is not easy. It requires you to invest time, effort, or money initially. But once established, it becomes a money printing machine that helps you become financially free. Many young people now understand this. They build auxiliary sources, selling online, freelancing, investing, creating content. Initially, the money earned may not be much, but if you persistently maintain it, these sources will gradually add up and create a significant cash flow. Not every income source suits everyone. People who like to create might choose to write blogs. Those good at analysis might invest in stocks. The important thing is to choose a field you can commit to long-term, instead of chasing trends. Building multiple income streams does not mean you have to do everything at once. If you take on too much, you will easily burn out. Instead, start from your main job, then find a suitable auxiliary source and build it gradually. When this auxiliary source is stable, you can continue to open another one. Think of income as small streams. One stream can dry up in the dry season, but if you have many streams flowing from different sources, they will merge into a large river that flows all year round. Your assets will be continuously nourished. The takeaway: don't let your life hang suspended only on the thread of your monthly salary. Proactively find ways to build other cash flows, because those very cash flows, over time, will nurture your financial freedom. And now, we will move on to the third strategy, one of the most important foundations for sustainable wealth: living below your means and saving wisely. This strategy, seemingly familiar, is the foundation that very few people truly execute. It means simply spending less than you earn. But in reality, in this modern, temptation-filled society, that is the biggest challenge. Living below your means does not mean living miserably. It means knowing how to prioritize the future over short-term gratification. The rich are not necessarily those who earn more than you, but those who keep and multiply more than you. How do you live below your means and still enjoy life? Let's start with the 50-30-20 rule. 50% for essentials, 30% for wants, and 20% for saving and investing. Try to increase this last number to 30% or even 40% if possible. Apply the principle of pay yourself first. This means as soon as you receive your salary, you immediately deduct an amount for saving or investing, treating it as a mandatory expense. The rest is for spending. If you wait until the end of the month to save, it's almost certain there will be nothing left. For example, if you receive $15 million in salary and immediately transfer $4.5 million, 30% to savings, you only have $10.5 million left to spend. You will force yourself to live within that limit, and gradually you will find that you are fine. Living below your means also means knowing how to distinguish between wants and needs. Needs are essential for living. Wants are things you buy because you feel like it. Make sure wants do not affect your ability to accumulate wealth. Before buying an item, ask yourself, if I don't buy it, will my life be severely affected? If the answer is no, reconsider. Sometimes, just delaying it for 24 hours will make you realize you don't want to buy it anymore. But saving alone is not enough. You need to save wisely, meaning the money set aside must be put into a channel that generates returns. If you only leave money in a checking account, its value will be eroded by inflation over time. The important thing is to build the habit. When you get used to it, you will automatically adjust your lifestyle. After 5 to 10 years, you will realize your assets have increased significantly. Remember, wealth doesn't come from how much you earn, but from how much you keep. And the best way to keep it is to live below your means and save wisely. And now let's move to the last strategy, the most important one: investing in yourself. Because intangible assets are what create tangible assets. The fourth and most important strategy, which few people truly value, is investing in yourself. All the previous strategies will become fragile if you ignore this core factor. Because ultimately, intangible assets are what create all tangible assets. All that you have today, your job, income, opportunities, comes from one single thing: you. The knowledge you learn, the skills you develop, the relationships you build, the habits you maintain, those are the foundation that determines your future wealth. Look at those who have won the lottery. In many cases, they lose all the money after just a few years. Why? Because they lack the foundation of knowledge, skills, and habits to manage and grow that money. They had money, but not the mind to keep it. Conversely, truly wealthy people, even if they lose everything, can start over. Donald Trump went bankrupt, but returned. Many great entrepreneurs worldwide went broke, but rebuilt new wealth. This is because what they have is not just money, but knowledge, experience, relationships, and mindset. Investing in yourself includes 4 important areas: knowledge, skills, health, and relationships. First, invest in knowledge. You cannot be sustainably rich if you don't understand money, the economy, or how the world works. Set aside at least 30 minutes every day for financial learning and self-development. Second, invest in skills. Skills are what increase your value: communication, negotiation, time management, personal finance, professional skills. The more tools you have, the easier it is to handle any situation. Third, invest in health. Health is the most precious capital. A healthy body gives you the energy to work, to create, and to pursue long-term goals. The greatest asset of youth is not money, but the energy and health to create money. Fourth, invest in relationships. People often say your income is the average of the 5 people you are closest to. If you play with people who are better and more successful than you, you will learn how to think and act like them. The right relationship can open up opportunities. Investing in yourself does not give you immediate results, but like compounding, it will gradually accumulate. And when you change, money, opportunities, and wealth will naturally come to you. Remember, money can be lost, but what you have invested in yourself, no one can ever take away. So, we have gone through the 4 asset accumulation strategies that almost no one teaches you: compounding, multiple income streams, living below your means, and investing in yourself. These are not quick rich secrets, but solid fundamental principles. If you truly want to change your future, start applying them right now.